London, the 22nd of January, 2026. In the aftermath of escalating courtroom drama, sensational accusations, and one of the most emotionally charged public testimonies in recent royal memory, Buckingham Palace issued a rare and unequivocal statement, not in defense, not in anger, but as an affirmation of principle. The Crown does not participate in disputes born of personal grievance. It acknowledges no involvement in proceedings currently before the High Court and will not be drawn into commentary on internal family matters when those matters are weaponized in public forums. Delivered late in the afternoon by the Palace's Chief Press Secretary and authorized by His Majesty King Charles III and Her Royal Highness Princess Anne. The statement marked the first official clarification of the royal family's position regarding Prince Harry's legal battle against Associated Newspapers Limited. Yet it read as more than a press note. It was a deliberate line in the sand, one that placed duty, dignity, and institutional continuity above personal vendetta. This was not the first time the royal household had faced turbulence from within, but as Prince Harry's courtroom allegations turned sharply personal. Accusing Prince William of betrayal and Princess Catherine of actively obstructing inheritance rights and reconciliation, the need for clarity became unavoidable, not as rebuttal but as boundary. In a supplementary briefing at St. James's Palace, Princess Anne, long known for her blunt loyalty to protocol, delivered a sober but pointed commentary, stating that the Crown serves the nation. Not itself, that it does not litigate its values nor outsource responsibility to courtrooms or tabloids, and that those who step away from that path do so by their own will, not by royal design. With uncharacteristic sharpness, she rejected implications that the Princess of Wales or any member of the family interfered with a deceased mother's will without evidence or private discussion, calling such claims false and disgraceful, and made clear the institution would not legitimize delusion by dignifying it. Her words carried the force of royal finality: no debate, no rebuttal, only assertion. For generations the monarchy has followed a deceptively simple media code: never complain, never explain, not rooted in silence but in restraint. In the belief that leadership is demonstrated through presence rather than protest. Prince Harry's recent claims tested the durability of that doctrine by asserting that Catherine personally blocked access to Princess Diana's sealed legacy, and by accusing William of moral cowardice. An effort that reframed the monarchy itself as complicit in emotional sabotage. It was this framing the palace firmly rejected, emphasizing that while personal pain must be acknowledged, it cannot dictate the narrative of public service. Insiders confirmed the decision to speak was not taken lightly, with debate over maintaining silence until Princess Anne urged a reassertion of ethical position. What made the moment unique was not grievance alone, but that grievance now before the High Court, mixed with compensation demands, legacy claims, and reputational warfare, transforming a private crisis into a public challenge to the Crown's image. The palace made clear the lawsuit was neither sanctioned nor morally co-owned, and behind closed doors, senior courtiers described Harry's conduct as a reckless endangerment of institutional trust, particularly in implicating Catherine, whose approval ratings eclipse even those of Queen Elizabeth II during her Jubilee years. Aides to the Wales household declined comment, maintaining professional silence, though sources confirmed William was deeply hurt by courtroom remarks suggesting denial of legal help out of spite. From the palace perspective, William's refusal was not betrayal but adherence to institutional boundaries. He would never insert himself into active litigation. Catherine, meanwhile, offered no defense, no leak, no whisper, continuing a full schedule of public duties, from youth cancer centers to mental health summits and trauma recovery charities. Her silence, interpreted as strategic authority, became its own rebuttal, as Windsor v. Associated Newspapers Limited entered its second week. The High Court became a crucible of competing realities, with Prince Harry standing increasingly alone, attempting to elevate personal hurt into national significance, while rebuttal after rebuttal underscored a central truth: grievance is not proof, and emotion does not outweigh evidence. What began as a privacy suit evolved into a spectacle of unverified accusations and questionable timelines. Destabilized by attempts to pull senior royals into a battle they neither condoned nor acknowledged. Despite the sound and fury of testimony, the palace maintained a calm distance, refusing to legitimize what aides privately called improvised theatre. Compounding the strain, Harry's legal team collapsed weeks before trial, citing irreconcilable direction, and Harry admitted in court he sought William's help finding counsel, an ask that was denied. Insiders stressed this was a measured avoidance of conflict of interest, not abandonment. During cross-examination, Associated Newspapers' counsel pressed for concrete proof of criminal misconduct, demanding specifics of method, timing, and confirmation, but Harry's answers grew vaguer, leaning on culture and emotion rather than evidence. Defense exhibits suggested journalists now accused had once been welcomed into his circle, with one phrase echoing the press benches, "You invited me," and still Meghan Markle remained absent. Early communications showed she helped initiate audits and data collection, forming the lawsuit's skeleton, yet she neither testified nor appeared. Observers called the silence deafening. Buckingham Palace, invoking what insiders termed a firewall strategy, relied on a rarely cited royal charter guideline, allowing formal non-association with private legal matters. Last used during the Duke of York litigation, severing ties and shielding the institution from subpoenas or interviews. The subtext was unmistakable: Harry was on his own. In a closed briefing, Princess Anne warned against emotional traps disguised as legal appeals, noting empathy does not equal endorsement, and love does not require legal validation. Later remarking that her mother taught them to serve, not to sue. Polling soon reflected a swing. Majorities favored royal silence, doubted Harry's claims, and questioned Meghan's absence. While the court deliberated, public opinion waned. Against the courtroom tumult, a counter-image emerged from Kensington Palace: calm, focus, unwavering service. William and Catherine spoke not a word, yet every appearance conveyed contrast. As Harry testified, they visited Aberdeen hospitals and unveiled public health funding. Corridors echoed with gratitude, while courtrooms bristled with accusation. Their schedule remained untouched, signaling non-engagement. At the Royal Foundation Early Years Summit, Catherine spoke on childhood resilience, words layered with relevance yet framed as mission, reinforcing leadership by example. Inside Kensington Palace, the mood was resolute but somber. Catherine was said to be deeply hurt by allegations involving Diana's will, a subject she had never exploited, yet she would not respond. This active silence, perfected by Elizabeth II and adapted for a modern media age, contrasted sharply with Harry's testimony and Meghan's earlier interviews. Polling showed record highs for William and Catherine, and steep declines for Harry and Meghan. Insiders confirmed their actions aligned with an institutional distancing protocol: reinforce stability, avoid legal contamination, let the courtroom speak. As one correspondent summarized, Harry sought to relitigate relationships, William sought to build a future. Meanwhile, Meghan Markle's absence became the most scrutinized silence of all. Once central to the couple's media and legal strategy, she withdrew completely. No statement, no appearance, no affidavit, interpreted as brand preservation and symbolic uncoupling. Documents showed her early role in audits and strategy, her name appearing repeatedly in internal emails, yet sources said she opted out months earlier, citing reputational risk. Commentators were divided, some calling it strategic, others a quiet betrayal. Polls suggested the absence undermined credibility. Inside the courtroom, Harry appeared increasingly isolated, his demeanor brittle. Asked where Meghan was, he did not answer. Later, a muttered remark about stories unfinished fueled speculation of strain. An Archewell insider summarized the sentiment starkly: she gave him the sword but refused to hold the shield.